them not to be deterred in the pursuit of their education. Rescue students of Government Secondary School Kankara soon to reunite with family. Plus, corresponding to X-Ray's Christmas celebration amidst COVID-19. Good afternoon and many thanks for joining us on today's edition of Panorama, reaching you from the Enugu Network Center. I am Minna Adobio Kobasi. Let's begin with an update on the release of the Government Science Secondary School Kankara students as we join Abdullahi Mustafa.
Without doubt, the students, 344 of them, averaged 12 years, went through harrowing experiences in the hands of the bandits who kidnapped them 6 days ago. They were freed Thursday evening through combined efforts of the military, other security agencies, government officials, and Miyetti Allah, a socio-cultural organization of the Fulanis. President Muhammad Buhari, who sympathized with the students, described as regrettable their abduction by the criminal elements who do not mean well for the country. He, however, insists that the past must be kept behind, no matter the difficulty. Education, he emphasized, is critical not only for their future well-being, but also that of their families and indeed the nation. President Buhari told the students that with proper education, nothing is impossible for them to achieve in life for the greater good of the society. The federal government, he promised, will do whatever it takes within its power towards securing the country more effectively and providing the desired environment for socio-economic growth and development. President Buhari therefore charged the nation's military and other security services to remain alive to their responsibilities of protecting lives and property, as well as Nigeria's territorial integrity with high sense of patriotism. The president expressed the belief that the Kankara students' abduction at the time of his visit to Katsina was an attempt to test the will of his administration. This, he promised, will not be repeated, and that efforts will also be intensified towards ensuring that all other Nigerians in captivity are freed.
Ina muku fatan alheri, ina muku fatan mu yi kokari mu gina muku Najeriya sosai yadda za ku samu tafiyarwa insha Allah.
Governor Aminu Bello Masari told the president that lessons have been learned from the recent abduction saga and will be effectively utilized in the best interests of all.
We hope by the operations carried out, a window has now been opened so that we can be able to resolve all issues that are affecting insecurity, not only in Northwest, but in all other regions of this country. This is a wake-up call to every one of us to see that together we can make it. Together we can succeed. Security is everybody's business.
President Muhammad Buhari has since returned to Abuja after a week-long private visit to his ancestral home of Daura, Katsina State, the first since August 2019. In Abuja, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Let's now join Abdullahi Mustafa for an update on the release of the Government Science Secondary School Kankara students.
Here to the pilgrims camp for medical examination, and which was carried out. It started immediately on arrival, and we learned that most of them were examined and confirmed healthy, apart from only 2 that were, after some tests carried out on them, they had malaria and were taken to Government House Clinic, and thank God they have all responded and handed over to their parents early this morning. And it's like a Salah day, as people in this part of the country describe.
We now continue with Panorama from Abuja.
And let's begin with still continue with the Kankara story. A cross-section of people in Katsina have commended the efforts of government in bringing back all the 344 abducted students safely. Correspondent Ibrahim Kabir, who went round Katsina Metropolis, reports that the successful rescue of the abducted students was the topic of discussion among the public. Those who spoke to NTA News expressed gratitude to government and security personnel for rescuing the students without collateral damage. The respondents therefore called on authorities to improve upon its security system in schools and other public places to guard against future occurrence of similar incident.
Security is a collective responsibility. Therefore, all hands must be on deck to ensure adequate security of our lives and property.
We prayed for safe release of the students by their abductors. This is our duty as good citizens.
Wife of Katsina State Governor Hadiza Aminu Bello Masari has expressed happiness with the rescue of the abducted students, calling on the students not to allow the incidents to deter their educational pursuit. Notable individuals, government institutions and private organizations have commended the efforts of the federal government and security agencies towards the release of the government science secondary school students. Elizabeth Omori compiled some of the commendations.
President of the Senate, Hamid Lawan, said he's relieved at the news of the release of the hundreds of schoolboys kidnapped last week Friday at the government science secondary school Kankara in Katsina State. In a statement, Senator Lawan said this news will delight their parents and all people of goodwill who have been horrified by the ordeal of the innocent children. Senator Lawan applauded the prompt intervention and productive engagement of President Muhammadu Buhari, Governor Aminu Masari of Katsina State and security agencies for their coordinated efforts. In the same vein, the Northern Governors Forum has commended President Muhammadu Buhari, Governor Aminu Masari, security agencies, community leaders, and all stakeholders who contributed in making sure the schoolboys were released unharmed. Considering the efforts of the federal government and the military in the release of the abducted students, the chairman of the East Governors Forum and Governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi, has appealed to Nigerians to support the service chiefs by giving them information instead of calling for their sack.
They need information, they need our support, they need our prayers. Nigerians should appreciate the time we are passing through now.
In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Defense Headquarters says the rescue of the Kankara secondary school students by troops was made possible with the receipt of credible intelligence. A statement by the Coordinator Defense Media Operations Major General John Enenche indicates that troops operated with high degree of professionalism to ensure they were all rescued alive. The Military High Command commends troops of Operation Hadarin Daji, other security agencies, and the public that volunteered information for their dexterity. Meanwhile, troops of Operation Fireball have eliminated scores of Boko Haram terrorists and captured gun trucks, arms and ammunition in Kukawa and Gamboru Ngala local government areas of Borno State. Acting Director, Defense Media Operations Brigadier General Bernard Onyeuko says in a swift reaction to the attacks in these areas, troops of 401 Special Forces Brigade eliminated 9 Boko Haram terrorists and destroyed a gun truck, 1 anti-aircraft, and captured 3 AK-47 rifles, among other assorted ammunition. Still on security, the Nigeria Customs Service has pledged to discharge its responsibilities with due diligence following the reopening of the country's land borders after 16 months of closure. Comptroller General of Customs Hamid Ali disclosed this at the graduation of senior and junior course participants at Customs Staff College, Gwagwalada, Abuja. Kule Adeye reports.
Land borders were closed in August 2019, principally to check smuggling of light arms and contrabands into the country. The reopening of the borders is coming at a time when the managers of the borders would be deploying some of these course participants to different custom formations for the customs boss. Various service-wide reforms and the approval of e-customs operations are pointers to the professional capacity of the personnel, especially as the African Continental Free Trade Area is set to take off next year.
Some will consider that we have a very lengthy border, and custom cannot be everywhere, even now that we have a joint operation whereby everybody is involved. So the issue of saying we are going to completely stop smuggling is unlikely. But what customs and other agencies will do is to ensure that we reduce it to the barest minimum.
We are happy that the existing training colleges are going to get a new lease of life, while new ones for specialized trainings will soon be established under the TRADOC arrangement. And with the permission of my commander, I would like to observe that the working synergy between TRADOC and human resource development has gotten off to a perfect start.
The excesses of smugglers at borders can be reduced. In Abuja, Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
The Speaker, House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has urged traditional rulers to give continuous support to the government for enhanced implementation of development programs across the country. It was while hosting traditional rulers who visited from Lagos. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The Ninth House of Representatives, the Speaker added, is committed to impact lives across the 360 federal constituencies in the country through legislative mandate as enshrined in the Constitution. Gbajabiamila noted that the traditional institution is key to the success of any given administration, considering its efficiency in mass mobilization.
We're here to work with each other, to support you. But most importantly, your prayers, your support over the years have come a long way in getting us to where we are today.
The Alara of Ilara Ekpe, Oba Olufola Rinkayode, extolled the leadership qualities of the Speaker and advised him to ensure that the traditional institution is accorded a greater role in relevant national affairs.
We are very, very proud of you, sir, for all the good things that you have been doing, not only to Lagos State, but to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
In another development, the House Committee on Ecological Fund, during an oversight to the National Hospital in Abuja, stressed that all MDAs drawing from the fund must expend it on approved projects.
Each local government of the Federation, they collect this money as part of their FAC. Even the entire 36 states of the Federation and the FCTC. So we are looking at the way that there is going to be a weaving coordination.
The erosion menace at the hospital, the committee said, has to be arrested to prevent more damage to the facility. Lami Ali, NTA News.
You are watching Panorama live on the network service of the NTA. The news continues after these messages.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Thanks for staying. We now rejoin Mina in Enugu for more on Panorama. Mina?
Thank you, Lydia. As part of the ongoing reforms in the Nigerian police force, an intensive capacity building workshop is ongoing in Enugu for police spokespersons across the country to enhance their efficacy in managing public relations. Addressing the officers at the opening of the 4-day program, the Inspector General of Police, Abubakar Damu, said the police reform effort is to evolve a more professional and human rights compliance police force. Susan Eze has more.
The 4-day engagement for police public relations managers from across the country is expected to come up with the best practices and strategic communication tools best suited for managing crises. 2 cases on review by participants are the current global pandemic, coronavirus, of which Nigeria is still battling with, and a recent NSAS protest that culminated into a crisis that cost so many lives and property across the country.
The 4 days of this program will present ample opportunity for you to interact, broaden and sharpen your communication skills, share knowledge, and stage a common front in the complex but necessary tasks of information management and public engagement service of the force.
Governor Ugwuanyi commended the move by the Nigerian police force to address the agitations of the public and equip its men with the relevant skills and knowledge for better service delivery.
For this initiative and other ongoing reforms aimed at addressing the agitation of the Nigerian people for a police force that is people-friendly, more professional, accountable, and respect the rights and freedom of the citizen.
The theme of the workshop is Crisis Management and Law Enforcement, the role of police spokespersons. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Anambra State government is collaborating with UNICEF to make the state an open defecation-free state and address other crucial issues in the public health sector. Governor Willie Obiano stated this at the flag of an inauguration of Interministerial Steering Committee on Water, Sanitation and Hygiene in the state. Ndem Carlo reports that the slogan of WASH campaign in the state is Operation Clean Anambra, Use the Toilet.
The partnership is aimed at fighting ailments caused by lack of potable water, open defecation, and other poor hygiene practices in line with the Clean Nigeria campaign by the federal government, which seeks to end open defecation in Nigeria by 2025. Governor Obiano noted that clean and healthy habits remain the only weapon against COVID-19 until a widely accepted vaccine is made available to all.
We are fully aware, however, that water, sanitation and hygiene constitutes a major foundation upon which public health stands. We know that when there is no access to water, the pride and dignity of our people suffer a major blow. It is on account of this understanding that my administration has prioritized the provision of potable water to Anambra.
Other stakeholders put the gains of the initiative in perspective.
When it comes to issue of open defecation, it's something that needs multi-level approach.
We want you to provide administrative support to RUASA to carry out operational functions and facilitate them to remain active and engaged. And we also request you to please mandate the steering committee to oversee the implementation of plans to make Anambra the first state to be open defecation free.
The event attracted ESCO members, among others, in Oka, Ndem Carlo, NTA News.
Next is COVID-19 update. Nigeria has recorded 806 new cases of COVID-19, with Lagos having the highest number of 287, followed by Kaduna with 36 cases, Akwa Ibom 29, Katsina and Rivers 25 each, Kwara 21, Bauchi 19, Kano 15, Ondo 14, Plateau 13, Yobe 12, Nasarawa 11, Ebonyi 9, Gombe 9, Abia 7, Delta and Imo at 4 each, Ocean 3, Anambra and Borno have 2 cases each, while Cross River, Edo, Rivers, Ekiti, Jigawa and Ogun have 1 case each, bringing the total number of COVID-19 cases in Nigeria to 7,713, with 67,484 discharged and 1,212 deaths. Christmas is usually celebrated world over with lots of excitement and high hopes as a period of reunion. Friends and relatives visit homes for this celebration. However, COVID-19, which ravaged the entire globe from the first quarter of the year, taking its tolls on the nation's economy, is feared resurging amidst Christmas. Correspondent takes a look at Christmas preparation amid COVID-19. The effects of coronavirus pandemic on humanity is better imagined as business activities crumbled, education and health institutions were mostly affected as children's career and future were tampered with following the long stay at home during the lockdown. And just when the nation was recovering from shock occasioned by the pandemic, the second wave of the virus struck as Nigerians prepare for Christmas period characterized by large gathering of people, especially in the hinterland. The big question now is, how will this year's Christmas be celebrated amidst COVID-19?
We have to be careful. Even as we celebrate Christmas, people should not take coronavirus for granted. And many people will come from outside Nigeria. We have to ensure good social distancing and wear face masks and still use hand sanitizer.
A low-key celebration in terms that people will minimize the number of travels, except there are travels that are very, very important. If there are travels that are not important, it should be reduced minimally. And gradually we'll see how the government, communities around and other agencies will tackle the second lockdown and see that it does not affect our people at all.
Meanwhile, some respondents appeal to government at all levels to use the opportunity of the celebration to look inwards and cushion the suffering of the masses occasioned by COVID-19 pandemic. In Enugu. All right, our topic of discussion on Panorama today was centered on Christmas amidst COVID-19, and of course our guest here is Dr. Obasi Chikeze. He is a public health expert and analyst. Doc, it's good to have you on board today.
Good day.
You can already see what the report says there. As a public health expert and analyst, how do you analyze COVID-19 in Nigeria as of today?
Today we are experiencing a second phase of COVID-19. You can see in the last 2 weeks there has been an increase in the number of cases we are receiving, and we're expecting to have more this December because when two or more are gathered in the name of social gathering, you have COVID-19 being freely shared. But there are a few things we can actually do that to reduce COVID-19. We always emphasize on the issue. If you don't have any essential travel, you don't need to do that. You could actually stay at home wherever you are, use your video calls and meet loved ones. You can actually stay alone, stay within your area now to live this celebration of this Christmas to celebrate the next one. Now, but if you must travel, please travel with your face mask. Minimize the much you can actually do in social gathering. Remember the coffee tickets, wash your hands very clearly. And then if you do not have soap and water, readily use hand sanitizers, which is just alcohol-based sanitizer. But the most important thing is that whenever you are gathered, please put on your face mask. That will help us a lot.
Okay, Doc. Even with the second wave of the COVID-19, most Nigerians still seem to sit on the fence.
Yes, because incidentally, many people who have actually suffered this actually still have stigma attached to it. Many cases of many people who have survived it do not go on air, especially the celebrities and especially the politicians. Many of them are not really living up to what we expect. We expect that people should come up. Family members that have actually lost their loved ones should actually come up. We need to sensitize our people to understand that COVID-19 is not the same thing as malaria. Even if it has some symptoms like fever, catarrh, headache and so on, which may resemble or mimic malaria, it is not the same thing as malaria.
Okay, Doc, because of want of time, your final words on COVID-19 as we celebrate.
The second wave is around. We pray that everybody who must celebrate this Christmas should celebrate it in good faith. If you do not have any reason to travel, please stay where you are and then always maintain social distance, use your face mask, and keep hand sanitized. And if you are sick, this is time to get to the hospital.
Thank you so much for your time, Doctor. All right, that's That's Dr. Obasi Chike, a public health expert and analyst right there. And now sports team NTA shines at Federation of Public Service Games in Kano. Details of this and more with Bade Adeleye on Sports Update.
Many thanks for joining us on Sports Update. I am Bade Adeleye. We begin with this cheering news as Gufan Shaji claimed NTA's first gold medal at the 2020 Federation of Public Service Games in Kano on Friday, beating Ife Okolo of the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy 21-19 in the final of the women's badminton singles event.
I'm very excited. You know, last year I was in Lafia and I played and I got a bronze and I felt really bad. So I just want to thank the Director General for making this possible.
It was double celebration for tennis player Chukwunonsonwa Bueze as he won gold for NTA in the men's singles event before partnering Dennis Amo to also clinch gold in the men's doubles. Away from FEPSCA, the Nigeria Olympic Committee has given approval to the trio of the Nigeria Tech Ball Federation, Bobsled and Skeleton Federation, and Nigeria Curling Federation, recognizing the bodies at its virtual annual general meeting. NOC also revealed that it is working with the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development to ensure Nigerian athletes prepare adequately for the Tokyo Olympics. In the meantime, fast-rising boxer Fiz Oshoba has shifted his attention to representing Nigeria at international competitions after emerging the best boxer at the Champions of Champions boxing tournament, which held at the National Stadium, Lagos.
My ambition is to go for the Olympics qualifier in Paris and have a ticket.
And to football, the Premier League will be live again on NTA this weekend with the clash between informed Southampton and misfiring Manchester City at St. Mary's live from 3:30 on Saturday. In other fixtures, Everton will entertain underperforming Arsenal with Tottenham and Leicester City facing off on Sunday. And that will be all on Sports Update. I am Bade Adeleye.
Many thanks, Buddy, and that's it on Panorama on the network service of the NTA. Do enjoy your weekend.
Coronavirus is real. Steps to avoid this pandemic. Wash your hands regularly or sanitize your hands. Keep social and physical distancing. Avoid crowded places. Stay at home unless absolutely necessary. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth if your hands are not clean. Avoid the spread of coronavirus. Coronavirus is real.
Our papa and our mama, I beg. Una go don't hear about this thing we they call coronavirus. The sickness we they call COVID-19. Now very bad sickness. It don't kill plenty people and it still they kill. And people will get sickness we don't already dead them body. If they catch this sickness, they terrible. That's why we won't come tell una, say I beg. Make una not let people where they work anyhow, make them come you now. Make una just stay for house. Make una wear mask. Make una they wash una hand well, and not let anybody wear non wear mask come near una at all. I beg. And make una not vex say we say make una not shake una children again. Make una not embrace. Make una not carry them for body, because we don't know who they carry this sickness come. Them feel carry them and you know go to pain them for body. But if all person carry them, be terrible well. I beg.
When una hear say anybody in body they hot well, the person they cough, dry cough. The person the breathing they hold on, no fit breathe well. Now I be say that person fit get corona. That person una no go near am. Make una just call another person. We go fit help that person. We can go help them. as una get other sickness for body and doctor don't give una medicine wey una dey chop every day, make una no miss am. Make una dey stretch body for house, make una eat well. All these things when una do am, plus all the things wey government say make we do, make we for no collect this sickness. If una do am, una go stay strong, una go stay healthy.
This message is brought to you by Gerontology Association of Nigeria, the Geriatrics Association of Nigeria, and David Mokoro Foundation in conjunction with the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
This is the network service of the NTA.